Happy Tuesday everyone! Today we've got two new features for you in the Convertri update, plus extra templates for pro and agency users and a couple of bug fixes. So our first new feature is that you can now provide fields for a shipping address separate to the main billing address. This will be stored in its own section on the Convertri prospect screen, and of course it also means that if you're sending information to an autoresponder you can have it in there as well. So you'll see that when you're setting up the list connection to your autoresponder you'll have shipping address available as a separate option. And that's also true when you're assigning form fields. We are admittedly still rather better for digital products than physical ones, but this new update should make selling physical products through Convertri rather easier. And the second feature is something that's been asked for quite some time and we have now delivered. You can now set layers to be relative to the bottom of the screen rather than the top. And that means you can now build sticky footers in Convertri. So you'll see a brand new option here when you make a new layer. By default everything is relative to the top. Hit the button and it's now relative to the bottom. And that means if we add a panel like this, make it full width, and we'll just make it blue so it's really visible. And publish. You'll see it sticking to the bottom of the page. And that'll be true whatever the height of the screen. Now there is something that didn't go quite right with this, and we only found it after the release had been pushed, and that is we've got a bug on bottom relative layers when dragging elements on. You'll see here if I drag an element on above the fold line, it appears in an equivalent spot below the fold line. If I drag an element on below the fold line, it just doesn't appear at all. So this is kind of annoying, and someone is getting fed to the tiger because of it, but it should be fixed very soon. And as you saw, you can still create sticky footers easily. Just remember to click to add the element rather than drag it on. I should also stress that this only affects these bottom relative layers. Normal layers and the main editor page are not affected. Another thing you can do, if you like, is set up your footer on a normal layer and then reverse it. So if we make a new layer, and we can make on here what would be a sticky header. Then switch the layer around, and it'll become a footer instead. This acts as if there was a mirror across the middle of your screen, so anything in this layer on the top will be shifted to the bottom and vice versa. As I said, we've also fixed a couple of bugs. Details of those are in the release email. So, that's this week's update. Happy converting, and we'll be back with more stuff next Tuesday.